Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for being in our live stream last night. We got a little testy in here. You know, we got so many people that are here trolling and talking about my quarterback and everything else. And you know, I can't change people. You know, people are free to believe what they want to believe. We'll see what happens with Dak Prescott and the contract. But there's so many things that are going on right now in the NFL between the CBA, which may go to a vote on Thursday. That's pretty huge with the players. We may end up having more cash this year. Marijuana testing may be out the window. 17 game schedule, two less preseason games, and it goes on and on and on. So there's a lot of benefits for both sides. And for us, the fans, kind of wonder, what do you think about 17 game schedule? That's going to kind of change the way the records kind of are too, because now you got another week of football. Although we don't have the details on it, I know one of the proposals were that players would only be able to play 16 games, so everybody'd have to sit out at least one. Not sure exactly how that's going to work. If you're in a playoff hunt and you're starting quarterback, Dak Prescott's got to sit down for Cooper Rush. But be that as it may, we'll see how they work that out. So this is now the beginning of silly season. Right now, it's speculation time. The only thing that you know for sure is when somebody gets cut or traded, and it becomes official. We know for sure Josh Norman has been cut by the Washington Redskins, and they saved $12.5 million. We know that. We can also say with pretty much certainty that the Redskins, as always, will be trying to make a splash in free agency because that's what they do. Other than that, anything else you hear is just speculation of people. Okay, so this morning someone shared with me speculation. Sources within the Cowboys organization are reporting Jerry Jones wants to make a splash in the draft. He could look to trade up for Ohio State's cornerback Jeffery Okudah, I think it's pronounced, the name to look for at the draft. Well, here's the thing. I am a carpenter, a father, a husband, and a guy who tries to drop the little bit of knowledge that I have around the world. I am not employed by the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not an owner of the Dallas Cowboys, although I feel like, maybe like 1,000th of a % with the amount of money that I've spent between my paving stones and jerseys and going to games. I feel like I'm maybe 1,000th of a %, Jerry, of an owner of the team. I got those two paving stones there, 8x8. Don't I own those two, right there? Okay. I do not make decisions for the Dallas Cowboys. I have no influence over decisions that the Dallas Cowboys make. I am just giving you guys my opinion on what I think is right and wrong. That's what it is. That's what all of us YouTubers do. Now, it's a little different than, say, ESPN, which is trying to sell a narrative and, of course, make millions of dollars, where they're covering every NFL team, as well as baseball and hockey and basketball and all that. Here you kind of get specialized. We cater to our Dallas Cowboys. In my mind, here's my philosophy. I think if the Dallas Cowboys were to trade up and get a cornerback, that it would be the dumbest thing in the world. I've never been that guy that believes in trading up because to me it's too much risk for the reward. Sometimes you're reaching to fill a need. And we've been here before. It's not to say that Jeffery might not be a Deion Sanders. It's possible. We thought Morris Claiborne was the best defensive player in the draft. The odds-on favorite, the best defensive player, the can't-miss guy. So the Dallas Cowboys took their first and their second pick, moved up for Morris Claiborne, who was never that great for us. We did not get a return on that investment. And not only did we not get a return on our first round pick, you lost out on the second round pick, which should have been a starter on your team. See, the way I look at it is this. When you go into the draft, you need to come out with an impact player from day one, somebody who instantly makes you better. You need to get 2 starters on top of that out of there. You need to get a special team standout, and you need to get some depth. If you can accomplish that, then you had a very successful draft. And you could look at directly what we got of the draft the last 2 years as far as immediate impact. We didn't get it, and it shows on your team. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys to be in the position that they're in, we have 26 free agents. We have a whole new coaching staff. 26 of those guys, those 26 guys, not all of them are going to fit what the team wants to do. Okay? You're going to have some holes that you need to plug. You're going to have some guys that aren't going to really fit the system that you want to replace with other players. And so it behooves you to have as many picks as possible to get those guys. And for me, here's my thing. You can have a great cornerback, but if the other 3 aren't that great and your pass rush isn't there, it's not going to help. I'll go to the other side of the field. Quarterback will have enough time to pick you apart. If your defensive line can't stop the run, they're not going to throw on you. They're going to run on you. My mind, the way you go in the draft, and I have been screaming it, yelling it, I've been putting up smoke signals, been calling everybody I know, and it might be because I was a nose guard in college, but I believe when you control, thank you, John, DMV, control the middle of the field. You control the field. And we have not controlled the middle of the field in forever. The biggest bang for your buck, the most immediate impact that you can make is defensive line. You've got to get a big guy at the defensive line that can be immediate plug-in, stop the run guy. A double team guy, because now that D-Law is getting double teams on the outside, you get this guy who's requiring double teams. If you re-sign a Robert Quinn or have somebody else on the outside, somebody's going to have one-on-one that's going to put some heat on the quarterback. And if you can put some heat on the quarterback, your cornerbacks, well, they don't have to be quite as good. And we've gone through and done everything. We've addressed trying to get linebackers, edge rushers, and things. You know, we've tried having the offense that outscores everybody else. How about we have a defensive line that smothers other people? Let's try that for once. I know Mike Nolan likes that because when he has that defensive pass rush, those big guys up front that eat up space and spit out offensive linemen, that his linebackers can play downhill. They're not worried about the guard getting to second level. They've got their eyes following the ball and making plays, and that's the way the defense is designed. If anything, if that generational tackle isn't there for you to take at 17, it would actually behoove you take a step back and try and create more picks. Because, friends, I'm going to tell you, the draft is how good teams get built. It's not through free agency. It's not through trades. You can look at Jalen Ramsey, who got traded for King's ransom to the Rams. How much better did that defense get with all that they gave up for him? They were in the Super Bowl the year before. They weren't last year. They weren't even in the playoffs. So that's my 2 cents on that. I think you don't go cornerback first. You go safety second. You go defensive line first. get that beast in the middle. Let's just try it for once. Just for once. That's all I ask. All right, guys. Today, X going to give it to you. And I'm glad we're not going to the game today because it's cold out today. It was like 25 when we woke up this morning. And I'm not sure I want to be sitting at a soccer stadium freezing my butt off to see the XFL. So I may be watching it at home today. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.